News 4.
Rob, thank you. New from our Illinois newsroom tonight. An East St. Louis man is facing charges after police say he broke into a woman's home, hid under her bed, and then raped her. 33-year-old John Yarborough was arrested after his ID was found at the scene of the crime. The victim says he came out from under her bed with a screwdriver. Yarborough is facing 7 felonies in that case.
Alyssa, we have new information tonight in a pedestrian hit-and-run accident. This was in O'Fallon, Illinois. Police say the driver came forward in that crash that happened Friday. Illinois State Police say they are investigating and processing the suspect's car. The victim, Stephen Vale, is in hospital in critical condition. Police are asking witnesses to contact them with any information in this case.
Police in St. Louis are looking for a hit-and-run driver after another pedestrian was hit in downtown St. Louis. It happened just before 10 last night at Market and 7th. Witnesses say a man was hit as he was crossing the street. They say the driver hesitated as if he was going to stop, but then took off. The man was taken to a hospital. His condition right now is not known. Police say the driver was in a blue Pontiac Grand Prix.
3 people are recovering tonight after a police chase ended with a crash in West St. Louis. Fire crews responded to the scene at Page and Union, where a person was trapped in one of the cars involved. Police say the car smashed into a pole or a tree at about 12:30 this morning. So far, it is unclear why that chase started or if any arrests were made.
5 heroin overdoses in just 24 hours. Incredibly, that is the number just from this weekend from the West County EMS district. News 4's Steve Savard has more on the latest sign of what's being called a deadly epidemic. Steve.
Yeah, Alyssa, today the White House announced a new $5 million plan to fight heroin use. That's something that law officers and addicts say is desperately needed.
Hi, how are you, sir?
The mood was light as Senator Dick Durbin arrived for a town hall meeting today in Granite City. But things quickly turned serious.
Since 1999, the number of drug overdose deaths in the U.S. has more than doubled.
The Madison County coroner offered his own shocking numbers.
As we sit here today, we're on 31 heroin deaths. So it's the most we've ever had since this has started, and we're only in the middle of August.
Today's forum produced a litany of statistics, but it was Carrie Caritis, assistant principal at Collinsville High School, who really drove the message home.
I thought, as someone in education with an understanding of drugs, that I knew what to look for. And that certainly if anything happened in my house, I would know. Unfortunately, I didn't.
Caritis' son died of a heroin overdose last November.
I started using heroin about 5 years ago.
A former heroin user talked about the cost of the drug to her and to the community.
How much did it cost each day?
I got to the point where I was probably spending about $300, $400 a day.
How did you get that money?
Stealing, lying, selling myself any way I could.
That woman was arrested for a home burglary, an indication how heroin use is behind many crimes. She's now in drug court, an alternative that Senator Durbin wants to see used more often.
St. Louis County Police are investigating one of their own officers for a questionable Facebook post. Coming up tonight on News 4 at 6, I break down the social media policies of local law enforcement.
And as Missouri aims to stop over-ticketing by the municipal courts, other Americans are still paying thousands. The speed trap that has many outraged tonight.
And business owners are falling victim to a new utility scam, so they call Columbo. How those scammers are trying to get your money. That's now still ahead on News 4 at 5.
The News 4 Illinois Newsroom is brought to you by Cantor & Berger, an experienced injury law firm.